Welcome, I'm Ingrid Carlsen, and I am so happy that you're here with me today. And I hope that you're excited because today we're making these beautiful tickets. I'm going to go ahead and get started using a coffee dyed piece of paper, and by the thickness of this, it's pretty thick. I'm thinking that it's mixed media paper or something like that, so I'm going to be using that. I'm also going to be using one of these little perforated, actually I don't even know what it is. It's like a quilting wheel or something like that. It's for patterns when you're cutting out patterns, I believe. I'm not even sure, but I know I have it and I love it for mixed media because it makes really fun marks. I'm going to use something soft underneath it. So in this case, I'm going to be using some fabric that I've just folded over so that it will give me a cushion to lay this, because if you just did it on a flat surface, it wouldn't give you the same effect. So I'm going to start off by doing it lengthwise. So I'm going to grab my paper cutter, some of this off so I can make this into strips, and I'm going to use it lengthwise. That was a really bad cut. I think I need a new blade. Much better. And for the next one, I'm going to use just a piece of blank cardstock. In this case, I'm using white. And I have all different widths because it doesn't matter. I think I'm going to go ahead and straighten out this edge while I have this. So we're going to start with this first technique, which is going to be adding some book pages to some cardstock to give your tickets kind of a base that has a lot of interest without you having to do a lot of work. So I'm just going to grab some book pages. I'm going to tear these in half. And I'm going to start gluing them on. And you're going to hear lightning because we're having storms today. So occasionally you'll hear that in the background. It's also trash day, so you might hear the trash truck coming through. And here you can use any type of glue that you want. The main thing is you want to make sure that your glue is kind of spread on all the way, so you can take your finger or a brush. Okay, and now I am going to take that. And I just want to lay it so that I'm not getting any of the like blank space here. I just want text. Okay. I think there's a little overlap here, so and I'm going to let this dry for a few minutes, and then we are going to come back to this. The next one that we are going to do is going to be with stamps. And so I'm going to pull out my stamps, and then I have some ink in just, I don't think I have any black on me other than Stays On. I have like a dark gray. And so I'll be using that as well as some other colors from my, I'll show you guys the stamp, the ink in a minute, and I'll tell you the story behind that. But I think for the most part, I'll be using the Tim Holtz stamps. I like this script too. I did, if you guys were watching with me when I used my stamps the last time, I still never found the number 4. So maybe today when I go through, I will find that number 4. But I'm just going to grab, let's see. I think I like this. It's perfect width, actually. I know I want some of this, like, actually we'll start with the base. So I'm going to grab just the base stamp. So this is going to be what's going to be my underneath layer. So I'll grab anything like this that has script in it, and I'll probably just use those. Move that. This is just going to give me an idea where this is going to go. It doesn't need to be perfect, so okay. Oops. So now we'll take the second one, and you can put them in whatever order you want, obviously. Well, I misjudged it a little, so we will add another stamp right here, and actually that one was fine. So it's just the first one. We will add right here. And now I'm going to take some ink that has colors in it to add kind of pops and accents to it. So we're going to, I'm going to put these back before. Okay. So I have these Stampin' Up stamp ink pads that I've had these for a very, very long time, and they all, as far as I know, the ones that I've tested, all still work. And when I say a long time, I'm gonna say at least 15 years. I bought on eBay a lot that had like all, I don't know what colors they were. And it was so funny because I had to send a check in the mail. It was like crazy. It wasn't even PayPal or anything like that. But anyways, I never use these, and I thought I'd go ahead and pull them out to make some marks, or use them for this project. So I'm going to start with this red color, and so we're going to see together if it indeed is still working. I find as well, if you struggle using stamps, that I find that when you switch out the colors, that is very helpful. I'm just looking through these really quick to see if there's anything. I don't know what stamp set this is, but I'm going to, I like the little squiggly line. So I'm going to go ahead with the red, and I'm going to add that. Let's see. I took a little bit of it off so it wouldn't be so bright. And this is one of those, I believe this is Tim Holtz. It's one of those stamp sets that it's like kind of a grungy background. What's great about these is that, as you can see here, it's not all uniform. So if you grab just this piece, it's good. If you grab just this piece, it's good. And it just gives it a little bit of interest. Now I'm going to go in with some blue and add some of these. And I'm going to try this, like, it's called ballet blue. And it's like kind of a brighter blue. Ooh, that's really bright. Okay, we're going to just test it out on book page first. Oh, it's really pretty. What I like about using some ink or coffee dyed paper is that you get all of this variation, so you don't even need to ink anything. It's already inked for you. This one was kind of open, so I don't know if this one will work. That looks like it's not gonna work. So let's try a set of numbers. Oh, it does. But my numbers are upside down. And I think I like it the best when it's already been used and it's more like kind of ghosted. I think I'm gonna add some of this. It's kind of like it says not quite navy, but it's giving me kind of a teal look. Okay, it's more of a dark blue, but that's okay. Let's go. There we go. Oh, I love that. That looks awesome. Okay. And I think that's going to be it. Actually, no, I'm going to add some numbers. Let's go with this set. And I think we are officially done. So I'm gonna go put all this stuff away and I'll be right back. In order to keep this a little bit more on the simple side, so what I'm doing is I'm showing you tags. I'm gonna do 3 separate tags and I'm gonna show like the easiest or quickest to more in-depth or intricate or that have more layers. They're not necessarily harder, they'll just have more pieces to it. So I'm just gonna grab some paper dolls from Tim Holtz. I think these are the ones that I'm looking for, the little ones. I'm gonna decide about how big my tickets are going to be. I'm thinking this, maybe because it's got a natural edge here, that maybe that's about the size of them. So I'm going to say, let's see, 1, 2, 3, we'll call it 5. So I'll go ahead and, because some of these people are bigger than the others. So 2, and I think I'm going to only get 4. Let's do his dog. That there. I think these girls, it's just going to be a little bit bigger. Okay. So I think that that's about naturally where it's going to sit. I'm going to go ahead and glue these guys down. And I was thinking that maybe some black cardstock would be nice, or something behind them that kind of grounds them. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of estimate here. And I think I don't like it because it does take away from it. So I'm not, let me see about a little strip. That I don't mind. Okay, I think we can work with that. So then I will do, I'm gonna rough up the size just a tad. And this cute little glue holder, my friend Lori, which is measure once, cut twice. She is, I'll have her linked down below. Her husband, Brett, made me one of those using his 3D printer, and I love it. And with the tacky glue, you can actually leave it open. A little bit will come out, and if you wait too long, it'll start like collecting at the nozzle, but it's awesome, especially when you're working like this, because you don't have to sit there and try to squeeze the glue to the top. We were talking about it, and it's too bad that Fabri-Tac is so crazy, because it is such great glue, but it goes everywhere. Here somewhere. The great part about this is that you don't have to be precise in any way, shape, or form. And with this glue, you can definitely make mistakes because it's still wet. And then our little puppy at the end. Now, as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking I have an idea to make this even a little better. And I'm wondering, can you guess what I would do? We haven't even done the ticket part yet. And I got ink on this poor little girl's face, but it's gonna add to the, it's probably because it's all over my fingers. I think after this one, I'll go wash my hands real quick. So I think that this would be great if we added some splatters of paint. It'll just take it to the next level. So I'm just gonna grab some black craft paint. Probably more than enough. And I'm going to take a brush and just wet it so that it's got some moisture in it. It's going to allow this this paint to be more liquid, giving you better splatters. And then let's go ahead and just get a little bit of our edges. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put this over to the side to dry. I'm going to wash my hands and I'm going to come back and we're going to work on that first one. All right, let's get back to this little guy. So you have a couple of options. You can either take your scissors and cut around. You can use your tear, and that's, I think, what I'm going to do here. And I'm going to leave just a little, like, tiny bit on the edge. And as you can see, what's really nice is that while one dries, you can work on the other. Okay, so on this one, we are going to work with just labels. So I'm going to grab some of these labels, and I think you can find these even at Dollar Tree. They're like, I guess, maybe address labels, or I don't know. So I'm going to take some of these. I'm going to grab my distress ink, and I'm going to distress these. I'm going to use brush corduroy, and we're just going to distress them. Another option that you have here is you can use some coffee staining, and I'm going to show you that in just a minute. You can see here this was coffee stained, and look at how yummy that texture is. And I don't know if you can see the shine from it, but I love the way that those came out. And I'm going to show you, actually we're going to go ahead and do that, and we'll let this dry. I don't even know how many we'll use. And the harder you push down on your brush is going to be how you get more color down. Okay, that's pretty good. This is a little old ashtray that I have, and what I did is I used some crystallized instant coffee with just a little bit of water, so it's almost more of like a paste. And then I just take my, when I want to activate it, I just take my paintbrush with some water on it, and you can kind of see there. I don't want a ton of water because I think that's what I really like, is that the thickness of it. I just want to keep activating it until I get more. And you can obviously start with just the coffee, like wet the coffee. It doesn't need to be dried like this. That one. We're gonna fake some bigger drops here. And I want to keep the splatters kind of organic, so I'm just dabbing the paintbrush like this, and since it has, the edge is kind of not like perfect. I'll add one here. And when you dab it, you can see it pulls the ink or the liquid and it allows for it to have that shine later. Okay. This is going to be labels. So I have this little tray with different labels, and I'm going to maybe grab, let's see if I have that medium size. I think something like this would be good. And I might go ahead and grab these as well. We'll go with that one so that it's more of a simple transition in the color. If you want a little pop of color, that's where you can add, like you just saw there, I had the red. You can do something like that, or you can stay neutral. So I'm just going to, all right. So I'm going to start gluing these. Actually, I need these. This is going to be my base. So I'm going to be a little impatient here. Normally I would wait for these to dry. I think our tickets are going to be this way. Hopefully I can get 4 on here. Let's go a little closer. And since I can't really do 4, I'm going to grab this. We're going to do 3.5. I'm just taking the back of this to put down the label since I'm not letting it dry. I think my hands still have, I washed them several times, and that red ink is still on them, and you can see it got on some of this, but that's okay. So I am definitely going to use these. I think I like this script the best. And I believe this was from one of the Christmas kits. I don't know if it was the freebie kit or if it was one of the sold kits. It's kind of like I was talking about this the other day about how I was like, I'll never forget how much my kids weighed, or, you know, how long they were, and I've already like forgotten that. We need one more. wonder. Okay, on these we are going to staple. I was not anticipating them falling, but that's okay. And I don't remember which one I had. I think it might have been that. So that's what we're gonna go with. Now you can feel free to go ahead and add a little glue underneath. You could have also glued the tags or the labels, these labels in place as well. And I'm kind of making a mess and disrupting some of the coffee, but it's okay because I want this to look grungy. Put these to the side, and I'm going to grab my last section. Okay, so now on this section, we are going to build little clusters. My glue here. So I'm going to grab some floral paper, and you can use whatever floral paper you have. I have this is from, I don't know what kit, but this is from one of my past kits, and I'm just going to cut up some strips that kind of fit inside here. And I'm not bothering to measure a thing because it does not matter. I think if I want, I think I do. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut this down into smaller strips. There. To put, and I'll do the torn side. And I still want some of that edge of my paper, so I will, even though once you cut the tickets, unless you leave it in one strip, it's not going to have edges on the top and bottom. So I like that. This was already cut like this, so I'm gonna, my goodness, these want to just move around. I think because my paper is buckled, it is moving around on me. Okay, I'm going to add just a little staple here just to hold it in place. Okay, this paper is being very fidgety with me, or I with it. There we go. I feel like I'm on the episode with Lucy and Ethel when they're eating the chocolates. And this one's not going to have that much visibility, and that's okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grab some book page, and this time I'm going to grab some of this that I had coffee dyed. Actually, I think it might be avocado dyed. And so I'm just going to make little strips of this. I'm just going to start kind of building some layers. Actually, I think what we're going to do first is we're going to put that to the side, and I'm going to take this over to the sewing machine without you guys, and I'm just going to sew around the edges. I think I'm going to add a strip here as well, like so. So I'll sew down here, down here, down this edge, and then along the top and the bottom. And so I'm going to go do that, and I'll be right back. I went ahead and sewed, but I did not sew along the top or the bottom because I figured it didn't matter since these will be tickets and they could get torn down. So I did, though, I don't know how well it's coming up on camera, I stitched some zigzag as well as straight stitch, and I tried to, wherever it was zigzag on the opposite side, do the opposite. So okay, so now we have our little scrap pieces of paper, and let's go ahead and cut these down a little bit to take away some of that excess blank space. And so on this one, we're going to kind of use a formula. Well, I guess on all of them we used a little bit of a formula. So we are going to grab, I don't love this. Let me, we are going to grab some fabric. We are going to grab some laces and then some ephemera that will go on top. So that's kind of our pattern here. As I was looking through my fabrics, this one kind of caught my eye. I'm thinking it's part of a chindi rug because I don't think I've ever bought fabric like this, but I thought that it would be nice to use. So let's play around with it a little bit and see before cutting. You guys know I don't usually do that, but I'm going to. Okay, I lied. I'm going to cut just a little sliver here. Because this fabric naturally is like kind of pleated or, you know, stuck kind of in this position. So I wanted to use that. And I think that's more of what I'm looking for. So let's Okay, next we are going to look for some lace that goes, and so I'm looking for something that is more kind of a warmer tone and not so like not a white necessarily that's going to pop too much. Who knows where I got this from? A lot of supplies that I have, I've been gathering for a long time. I think what I'm going to do is I have my ladies, and so I think I'm going to cut them down, at least these four. This one, she's got, her head is a little bit bigger, so it might not work, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try it first with this one since she's got a smaller head. I'm going to cut her down a little more because I want the paper showing some. It doesn't need to be a lot, but I do want some of that showing. And I'm thinking that in this case I'll go here. And I'm just going to, without thinking about it anymore, I'm going to add a staple to hold it into place. And then we'll build the other ones. And if you sew these and then decide that you want to take out the staple, that is definitely an option. I can't tell if I love this lace or this ribbon or hate it. It's kind of somewhere there in the middle for me. So I think some of her beautiful hair is going to have to get cut off. I think that lace though works really well with these girls. I'm gonna grab a different piece that has some more writing on it. So she ate up almost all of the text. So instead of trying to cut her down any further, I'll just pull the paper from the top. And you can see, even though this is more ornate, more kind of tedious, it's okay because, I mean, not that it's okay, it's still manageable. You can still do it fairly quickly. Also, once you get into doing these and making them, and you're doing them kind of assembly style, you'll go a lot quicker. Like, you can already tell from the first one to this one, I'm a lot faster. Okay, so let's go over to the sewing machine, and then I'm going to add stitching just here and then here. So on both of the sides. You know, I think this was fooling me, like it was her hair or the paper, and it's actually just part of that. So I'm gonna just rip that so you can see a little more of the text. Okay. Look how sweet these look. And you can see here my stitching was off because I was trying to like move it and I was trying to film at the same time, but that's totally okay. I think it adds to the whimsicalness. And then the last thing here is you can add, I don't know. You can add, I was going to say you can add labels to it, but I kind of think that they're so pretty like this. I usually like adding little words. Let me see if I have anything that's really small. I think some of these that I have are little, but I'd rather them say something. I do have those little tiny ones. Let's see how those look. think it takes away from it, like makes it a little too utilitarian instead of like this is kind of lacy and pretty, and it needs to be more of a script. We could make our own. Let's see these labels. Okay, I like that a lot better. So let's do, and this is a yellow colored fountain pen. What I like about using this with the self-adhesive labels is that I can cut it out and see how it looks without having to stick it on yet. Enjoy. I'm trying to find spaces where there's little bits of the coffee to add interest. Enjoy. And let's see. Enjoy, love, believe. Trust. We're going to go here. And don't throw away these little pieces because these could get used in another journal or in another spread. Trust. I think those are really pretty, and I think that the yellow just brings in like kind of that softness that I was looking for. So on these, I am, because they're the last layer, I am going to add a little bit of glue to glue them down. There's just something that I absolutely love about having this edge next to this edge that's torn. I think that's so pretty. This one's gonna be harder to separate because it doesn't have an edge. And we're almost done. Now we just have to make them into tickets. And we'll circle back around and get the first ones we finished and start with those. While the glue dries on here. My fabric. Okay, so we're going to stick these girls over to the side, and I'm going to grab my ruler, and the first thing I'm going to do is perforate the edges, and so you want to be careful not to go all the way through unless you want to go all the way through. And so I'm just going to take my scissor. I don't even care if it's lined up or not. I'm going to just take it and I'm going to run it across a few times. I think I'm going to add some to the top there. These came out so cute. Oops. That one went a little rogue. You can kind of see in the back. Let's do our girls. This little piece of fabric kind of got in the way, so I'm gonna hold it up. Now we are going to take our hole punch, and I'm going to put you on pause while I search my desk that is full of stuff for the hole punch. I found it. Okay, so now you are going to, and I find the easiest way is so that you can see where your stuff is. Ooh, there's some crazy lightning outside my window. Just going to cut the corners. And I'm going to cut at the perforated. I feel like the train conductor in Polar Express when he's like, this one's a little hard to see, and it's very crooked. Actually, I might have to do it on this side. So on this one, I'm going to end up cutting these down some. Yeah, I think that's going to be better. And then our last thing that we can do is we can distress where you see the edges. So I am going to grab Vintage Photo for that because it's a little darker. And I'm going to grab my little brush, if I can find it. Today is the day of lost items. I keep putting it stuff to the side to move it out of the way, and then I can't find it. Okay, so I'm gonna take this, and where it was perforated, I'm gonna grab it and just lightly distress there. And then the other thing you can do is, if you don't like that, you know, I do this a lot, and I think I like the look of that a little better. Look at these, how cute are these? And let's do these with this again. So now when you go to use these, you can leave them in a strip like this. You can cut them apart. You can, since you're making so many, you can bunch them together and put several ones. And so I wanted to tell you some ideas that I had where I would put them. I would take them and let's find a page. That's done, yeah. I'm gonna move this just for now so I can just talk about this. So I would take like 2 of these girls and I would clip them here with a paper clip or a binder clip. Let's do a little binder clip. And I think that would look really cute. On that note, the other thing you can do is like this. You can take 2 or more, you know, depending on how large your journal is. You can glue on the edges and make this into a little pocket or a tuck spot. You can also use them in a pocket. So if you have a book, and I don't have one here, but let's make a little faux pocket real quick. Let's pretend that this is a pocket here. You can add them here, and let's just pretend there's only 2. And you can, this is where I was saying you can layer them, like multiples of them. And I think that would look really cute. I think that these are great pieces if you wanted to build tags and put them on tags. So I have these little tags that I've made on Instagram, but let's say I cut one of these girls and just stick her on here, and then all I have to worry about with the tag is just kind of doing the base layer, and then the ephemera is done, and I can get through a journal like super quick. And then the last thing I would do is just cut these apart and use them as ephemera. So I would just use them for clustering. So let's say I'm doing a cluster. Let's say I lay this and then add more stuff on top of it. So I can add, I'm just gonna pretend here, right? We're going to add that little flower. Just add some of this paper. So we're just building on top of the cluster and then maybe finishing it off with like a tag like this. And that's it. And so you can see these are super versatile. They are really great projects. They're great scrap busters because you can use a lot of little small pieces and you can get through a lot of your stash and kind of you know, eat into it so that it's not, you don't have like little pieces everywhere. So I think of so far of the scrap buster projects that I've made, and if you haven't caught any of the other ones, I'll have them all linked down below. Actually, I'll make them into a playlist and have it linked down below in the description. But I think this might be my favorite. And I think of all of them, I don't know. I don't know which one's your favorite. Do you like so we'll put them in order of, you know, simple to more intricate. Are you more of a simple lover and like things a little bit less cluttered? Do you like this one where it's more grunge, or do you like this one where it's got a lot of layers and it's like very romantic and lovely? So let me know down below, and in the meantime, I'll be thinking about which one's my favorite. But I just wanted to thank you so much for being here today, for spending your time with me, and for all of the love and comments that you guys have been showering on me. I'm so grateful for each and every single one of you. And I just want you to know today, if you haven't heard it, you are loved. You are loved beyond measure. And I thank you so much. And I will see you soon. Love you. Bye.